Hello there, Virgo, and welcome to your monthly forecast. Really great to see you, but before we get into discussing what this month is bringing, I want to share some news that I think you're going to be happy to hear. As I was reading through all the comments over July, it was clear that a lot of you missed the cards, and based on all of the feedback, I'm bringing back the old format 100%, no changes. Just to let you know what I was trying to accomplish last month, I really wanted to try to expand the audience, reach out to some folks on Instagram, and also give you what would feel like a one-on-one appointment with me where we're not necessarily breaking down every card, we're answering questions or I'm giving advice. But I realize this is a visual medium, you guys really like the cards, and that there's additional information you're getting as you see them. So I'm going to honor that. I'll keep the old format. I'm expanding these to the normal length, which is between 20 to 30 minutes, usually around 25 to 30 though, more often than not. So hopefully you like that, and just letting you know I do listen to the feedback. Additionally, I was really happy to see that many of you were really reacting favorably to all of the intuitive development videos that I'm doing, really about getting to know your psychic skills, metaphysical development, talking about crystals in the future here hopefully, and also doing a Q&A. So I will keep up with all of those, including the last two that I just mentioned. And in addition to that, I'm going to start to review card decks here, providing I have enough time to do that. I know a lot of you have been asking for months what decks I'm using, what I would suggest for beginners, etc. So I'm going to start that. I feel like it would benefit a lot of people, and I can highlight some of my favorites and some to maybe avoid, because it's really helpful to know that when you're starting out. Even when you've been reading for years, you want to know what someone thinks about them. So that being said, if you like these changes, if you like the fact that I'm going back to the old format, extending the time, adding some additional videos each month, then consider supporting the channel. This is a lot like NPR. I kind of make it or break it on your support. So at the very least, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video if it's something that's been helpful. And if you feel moved to donate to the channel, there's a link right below the video that will allow you to do so on my website. And you can do something as little as $1 one time, or you can do a recurring amount if that feels right to you. All right, with all of that being said, I would like to now take a look at your forecast for this month. I start off every month by selecting a deck of cards to use for your sign, and then I meditate. I also do something I call automatic writing, which is you basically meditate, and as you're writing, you just kind of let the information flow through you. When I did this, this was the message that came through. Now more than ever, a change of scenery is going to be helpful. It will give you the ability to solve problems and possibly see things from a different point of view. If you're busy working and you don't know how you're going to be able to sort of do this, because an ideal thing would be like just take a break or take a holiday, you could just take 5 minutes at lunchtime and walk. As you're trying to figure something out, I want you to remove yourself from the surroundings that are either causing stress or a block for you this month, and give yourself a new perspective by shifting the energy. If that's not feasible, then I'd like you to look around your, all around you, I was going to say around your person basically, and see if the situation, the energy around you is feeding the anxiety or creating a sense of calm. If there's anything that's causing stress, try to just change it up a little bit. So it's not about a complete redecoration. Maybe you just decide to add additional light to a space, or clean out some files that have been sort of in the way for a while, so that as you look, there's this openness that wasn't there before. You can bring in plant life. You notice that I always feature live plants in the background, because that energy helps to change and improve the frequency of the space that you're in. So whether it's a potted plant, cut flowers, or something like that, you shouldn't really use artificial if you're trying to affect the energy, because that's going to be much more of a subtle change. Live plants will help with that. So anyway, change your environment or remove yourself from your environment this month. It's going to help you move through potential blocks in your life. So there you go. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the cards, something I know you're all very excited to see again. So I'll give it a good shuffle. And as you know, I like to remain quiet at this point and simply see where the cards fall and what they want to communicate this month. All right. And in addition to everything that you see here, I like to look at one more card And this is what I call a catalyst. And for me, it connects all of the cards here and the sort of story that's presenting itself. And it also gives you information on either how to maximize your opportunity this month or sometimes how to avoid a pitfall. So let's see what the catalyst has in store for you this month. And we have this horse card here, which when I see this, I see something that is able to carry more than its load and do so with great ease, or at least what appears to be great ease. So this month, you're going to be able to move through your life with the elegance of this horse here. And more importantly, I think your opportunity is to lead the pack. Because in my mind, I'm seeing sort of you and a whole pack of horses here. You would be the lead person. So leading by example, pushing through any perceived blocks and just simply knowing that you can get to the other side, not getting in the way of overthinking things, basically, not letting your thoughts get in the way of progress. So I want you to feel that you are strong, you're capable, you can carry more than your load, and you can also lead by example. These are the elements of the horse card. Beautiful animal and beautiful symbology for me that comes through with this. Also, when you think of a horseshoe, luck. So I want you to kind of play with the idea that we make our own luck. Sometimes you see people as lucky, and the fact that they maybe believe they're lucky and we believe they're lucky, it sort of feeds into it. So this is a month where you can change your luck. Let's look at the cards now. I'm going to turn the camera down for a second just so you can see the arrangement, and then we'll talk a little bit about each card and what it means for you this month. I'm drawn directly to the Ace of Pentacles here. Great indicator that things should shift with respect to money and opportunities in your career and your work and school. All of that is looking really, really bright this month. And the other thing that I'm seeing is relationships are going to probably feed into that. So let's talk card by card what's going on. We'll start off with the Fool card, which is right at the center. I really love the Fool card because to me it is indicative of new opportunities, beginnings, and a sort of irreverence or lighter energy that we don't always see in tarot. Now, of course, there's the undercurrent here that you always want to be a little bit more prepared, look for things that could trip you up, quite literally. If you ever look at a traditional illustration, you'll see that the Fool's about to fall over a cliff or a hill or something. But when we're looking at the way these two cards are spread out here, we have the Fool with the Three of Wands on top of it. This is showing a calculated risk that has very good odds. So whenever there's something in your life that you feel passionate about, you're still gonna have risks. It could be asking someone out, or it could also be maybe going for a job opportunity that means a lot to you, but leaving something comfortable to go to that opportunity. And what you have to sort of weigh out is what kind of regret would you have if you don't chase the opportunity that's in front of you? That's gonna give you the answer. If there's a lot of regret, you probably should go for it. If you're on the fence, you can wait a little bit, perhaps, but I see this as a month where you want to take action and it feels like you're in a place where there's something good on the horizon that's worth reaching out for. Now, as I look at contributing factors from the past here, we have the Five of Wands. Many of you may have been sort of stuck on what feels like a treadmill, where you've been working quite a bit, but not necessarily seeing the immediate return on your energy or return on your effort. For some of you, this could be amplified by the fact that either the bureaucracy that you're kind of existing within, or it could also just be society. Whatever it is, it's kind of putting these expectations on you that this is normal, that you should have to do all of this. We go back to this horse card, which it doesn't know better, so it keeps carrying people around, but it could be free. And there's this moment this month for you where you could also be free and you could kind of release the shackles. And I feel like that's the opportunity here. The Hierophant card is one where it's difficult to break through predefined or preconceived sort of structures around you. So a lot of times when you're younger, this can be your family saying, you need to be a doctor, a lawyer, or this. And you don't get a chance to sort of think, but maybe I want to be a painter, or maybe I want to be a mechanic, or maybe I want to be a fireman, or whatever it is. So give yourself chances to get out of other people's vision of what you think you should be. This will allow you to be strong, to be free, to have that endurance that this horse card has, but to also have the insight that this animal may not have in breaking free from sort of just being burdened by responsibility. So that's where that sort of Fool chance or that Fool card came through at the beginning, where you're going to have an opportunity to take a leap of faith and try something new. And I do think for many of you, this could come in the form of some sort of a proposal. So it could be a new job that you've read about and you think this could be it. It could be someone calling you up and saying, hey, I have this idea. Do you want to start a business with me? Or have you thought of this job opening? I looked at it and I thought of you. It could also be a proposal for a relationship, for marriage, or some sort of partnership. But it's a good chance. You should explore it to see how it feels for you. Ultimately, the decision is in your hands. And I do feel many of you are going to have to make this by the middle of the month, because it's showing the near future here, which for me would be 2 weeks into the month. So, really weigh out all the options. I feel like there's good and bad. The main thing that you would be giving up is predictability. And but I see with the ace in that crowning position, ace in the crowning position, 3 of wands tempering that Fool card, this is a chance for success. We have the star in the outcome as well, and the 4 of wands here. So for some of you, this is coming from a trusted friend or colleague or loved one, and whatever it is, whatever kind of proposal or opportunity it is, you should think about it. And I think that's going to be the toughest thing for you this month here. So we have the 7 of cups here, and for me it's a daydreaming card. It's a chance for you to sort of look through everything. The reversal on this is saying, now it's time to be more decisive, to come to a decision. But it needs to suit you. Whenever we see cups reversed, doesn't matter if it's 2 or 10 or somewhere in between like this one, there's a tendency for other people to be thinking of themselves first. So know this, that whoever is picking up the phone or whoever is talking to you, they are thinking of themselves. Somehow this is going to benefit them. Make sure it benefits you too. And if it does, great, mutually beneficial. If it doesn't, then that's also a great deciding factor, and you can stay put if that feels right. Environmentally, I love when the 4 of wands shows up anywhere, and I don't care if it's upright or reversed. We'll talk about the upright first. This is usually showing good partnership opportunities, proposals, marriage, friendship, and also if it's a foundational card for building something new. Simply add all of those things, but put a little bit of a delay, and that's what we have with the 4 of wands reversed. The other thing with this is you may need assistance. I looked at this and I thought, first of all, you need a helping hand, quite literally. And so don't be afraid to lean on your group of friends. Again, when I'm seeing the horse, I see endurance, I see support, I see leadership, because when you think of a chariot, particularly here in tarot, you always see it led by 1 or 2 horses, usually 2. And that's going to show the ability to move something forward. You may have someone in your circle of friends that's a great manager, and she or he may be able to bring something that you've been thinking of doing to the next level. Because if you're having a little bit of hesitation, sometimes you need that project management assistance. So don't be afraid to, with a trusted friend, talk something over and see if they can help you get started. The important thing this month here, as we're looking at the 9 of swords here, is to not let everybody else's fears stand in the way of you being able to do what you want. When I look at that card, it typically has to do with feeling overwhelmed. I actually like that in this one, it's someone that's trying to deal with all of these, so it's almost like an impossible battle here. But notice that they're all being tied by a string. They're not really going anywhere. The 9 of swords, usually you see someone in their bed with all the swords above them, and it can show problems with sleeping, stress management issues, just going to the worst case scenario and not thinking it through. Don't go there. Don't let that be what is sort of keeping you from doing something important in your life, because your outcome card is the star. Yes, she's reversed, but the star card indicates your opportunity to get really on path with something your soul wants, or that it's just opening up this great growth potential for you. You do have to be visible. You do have to step up. The star is not a card that is subtle or something that you can ignore. It shines brightly. And that's what I try to encourage all of you to do from month to month. So if you have a chance to shine, to do something you care about, to get behind something that matters, you have to kind of think really, really hard before you walk away from that opportunity. Now, if this opportunity hasn't presented itself, we can look at this from a different point of view. This could simply be about stepping into your power, because the upright card shows that ability to, like leaders usually have a star card somewhere in their spread if I'm reading for them. The reversal of this is showing you're possibly muting your light a little bit this month, either because you don't want to appear too strong or you want to let someone else have center stage, etc. Don't mute it just because of that. Let someone else rise because they're strong enough, not because you're making yourself weaker, because that's not actually helping them or helping you. This is your chance for growth and for development this month. So if you don't see some of the other things that I'm talking about, this could be a time for you to possibly go back to school, or to decide to get some sort of a certification, or simply to sit and think about things that really you want to create and make that happen just because it's like a passion project. So somehow there's a developmental opportunity, and it's going to require you to take a leap of faith, but only you are going to be able to sort of gauge when you're going to do it and if this month is the right time. I see a wonderful window of opportunity, and I see very few cards that are telling me that there's something wrong with this. All I saw was a fear card, and that's really the only swords card that came through. Everything else is shining brightly. So we'll expand the forecast, and when I review everything, we'll take one more look at this and see if there's additional context. But right now, I think it's a great chance. There's going to be something that opens up. It should be exciting for you. Let's go ahead now and take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, and we'll see where that brings us. Let's go ahead and take a look at your health card. Health includes mind, body, and spirit. Your health message this month is showing growth. And for many of you, this is a chance for you to improve upon anything that in the past you felt some sort of a block on. So this could be trying to get more fit, improving your diet, working in your meditation practice to be more grounded. Believe in yourself, invest in yourself this month. Treat it very much like you would any sort of investment like retirement or college, and realize that you have to put in if you expect to see some sort of a return. But I do see growth in this area, so embrace that. Let's now take a look at your wealth card. Wealth for me is not just money, it's your relationship to money, as well as your self-worth within, because how you approach your spending and how you view yourself, they're absolutely related. It can also be career opportunities and other sort of growth opportunities in your life. But let's see what's coming through now for money. And we have an affirmative card. And for me, this is showing an indication here that this opportunity that's coming through that we saw here with the Fool, the Three of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, among other cards, is something that you should consider. This is an affirmative card saying that yes, it's time for change. Yes, it's time to look at new things. And you should start to have a positive attitude towards your money and career. So it's hard sometimes when you've maybe hit a patch of bad luck where it seems like things just continue to not go your way, or that you haven't been able to achieve the sort of areas of success that you were hoping to by a certain point in your life. This month, I want you to start to think that it's possible that you're going to turn a new leaf, turn a new corner, and that from this point forward, it's going to be much more like you had planned, or what opens up is for your greatest good. All right, so we looked at your health and wealth. Now we're going to take a look at love. Love includes not only romantic relationships, but all intimate relationships in your life. This could be friends, family, and other loved ones that you hold near and dear. All right, your love card this month is reversed, so we're going to turn it upright, but the card says, "My vibes speak louder than my words." You notice the illustration shows all these beautiful butterflies on it, transformation. Now, what's important for you this month is to transform what you're feeling inside so that the exterior starts to see that and feel it. You can't make other people feel something that you internally don't feel. So the change and the opportunity this month is all internal. And if other people in your life are creating havoc or causing some difficulties, the shift of power, the shift of understanding, the shift of self-worth all happens within your heart and your mind that was really colored along what I would see in the third eye. So I think it happens within here, and it may work itself in other parts of your body, but you need to feel, believe, and start to live that truth before others will do the same. Now let's take a look at your destiny card. And a reminder, of course, that destiny, as it is in this spread anyway, is something that you can affect. It is a GPS, an indicator of a trajectory that you're on. So if you like this path, stick with it. If not, this message will help you course correct. So the destiny message this month is integrity. And at the end of the day, this is the one thing that is really, really important. It's hard for you to get trust, to get your integrity back if you make a decision that you're pressured into and that you don't like. And this is really encouraging you to do things that feel right to you, worrying a lot less about the pressures of the group. Even if we look at what has been traditionally thought of as right versus wrong, we change our opinion over time. Laws and customs adapt as we adapt and become smarter and more aware of our place in this world and how everything is interconnected. So you might be a change agent this month to do something that's right, even if it's not popular, or even if it's not something that people understand or approve of. Sometimes being a rebel is okay, and that's what we saw at the beginning with the Fool. It takes us full circle. Let's go ahead now and review everything that we talked about today, and then we'll wrap up. At the beginning, I talked about your channeled information. It was suggesting that changing your scenery, whether the environment is what changes or you physically remove yourself and go somewhere else, this is going to give you the perspective you need to solve a problem in your life. Your catalyst this month was a card that shows the ability to endure, to go further than you think, to push through. But there's also a hidden or a latent meaning with this card that it's time to break free. We look at a beautiful animal here that's often put in situations where it doesn't have control. And even though it perseveres and does well, imagine what it could do if it were free. And that's sort of the opportunity this month is, are you ready to break free? Are you ready to own that power within and not let other people exert that control over you? As we look at the spread here of cards, we see at the center this big step that you get to decide to take or not. And you see around the middle of the month, it looks like that decision is going to have to be made. It looks like it's a really positive growth opportunity for you, that many of you have been putting in the effort to get there. But there's one hurdle. It's going to maybe be an unpopular decision. Friends, family, coworkers, someone in your life could be trying to hold you back. Look at the opportunity and decide, is this right? Also, look and see what's going on in your life. Maybe there's a change that you have to make and you have to take that opportunity to make change. Either way, I see a little bit of rebellion, and I think really that's what the Fool was about as we get through the whole reading here. It's important this month to make sure that whatever decision you make, it's also suiting you. It's not suiting the other person and solely them. Know that it's a great month for foundational work with relationships, for new projects. Some of you may engage in a new relationship as well, meet someone new. I'm not actually getting an indication of who that would be just yet, but it looks like it's a good month for you to begin that endeavor if you haven't already sort of found someone in your life. If you already are in a relationship, this is just about taking time to get to know them, to grow a little bit closer, and making sure that that reciprocity exists. We talked at good length here about this card that shows fear. Overcoming that fear is integral to success this month. And also embracing that ability to be the star, not the reversed as it was showing for me, but the upright version, which is showing prosperity, people understanding you as and seeing you as a leader, as a person of power, as a person of influence. When we expanded the forecast, we saw in health that this was a month to turn a new leaf. When we looked at wealth, to stay positive, to believe in yourself, to believe that things, that you're capable of great things, even if you didn't get that sort of feedback and support as a younger person. With love, the message was you have to believe who you are, what you're trying to do. You have to believe in yourself for other people to do the same. If you don't, then that energy, that doubt, or that truth within you is going to speak louder than any sort of facade, any sort of version of yourself that you're trying to show to the world. Most important this month is to feel good about what you're doing, to do the right thing. The right thing is what's feeling good on a heart and a soul level. And that is this reading this month. And I hope that you got all of it's interesting, there was a little feather that just came through as we were talking about integrity. I have no idea where it came from, but I like it. Anyway, I hope that you got the guidance and support that you needed to approach all of the opportunities, the challenges, and everything in between that happens this month. If you ever find yourself in a place where you want to talk a little bit more about a big decision or about your intuitive development, I'm absolutely here for you. You can check the first link below the video, right above the comments area, and you'll see that there's a place where you can look at my booking information. So feel free to book an appointment, check the rates and availability, see if they work for you. If you just like to say thanks and support this channel, I talked about that at the beginning, a little bit goes a long way. I don't ask for a lot, but this is very much like NPR, so if you support me, I can give you more, and that's really what that's there for. The third link is a great way to stay connected. So I would love for you to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and of course to subscribe here if you haven't already done so. You'll find links to all of these things right below the video. Now, this is my favorite part every month. It's a chance for me to offer a little bit of gratitude and sort of set the tone for why we're doing this. First of all, thank you for working on yourselves. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because it's really important now. There's a lot of stuff going on in every country across the globe. We have a lot of light and a lot of shadow going on. So at this point in history, at this point in time, we really need people to shine as brightly as possible, to work on themselves as much as possible, and to find that inner strength and knowing that's going to help them in this ever-changing world. So the work that you're doing on yourself and allowing me to be a part of it, it means the world to me. And I hope that you continue to do what I'm doing and help other people. Because my goal, I guess, before I leave this planet is to help everyone shine brightly and then create a bunch of teachers. I had a teacher once that said that, and it stuck with me, and I think that that's a great approach for like leaving a thumbprint on humanity. So I hope that you continue to work on that. This month, there were a couple of things that I want to talk about just for your sign before we wrap up. The first thing that I see is with this catalyst card, I wanted to let you know that it's not necessarily your responsibility to take on the weight of your family, your friends, or the world, even though you can. The horse can do a lot. It does sometimes more than it should, and sometimes to its detriment. So this month, I want you to put proper limits up and realize that when you take too much of the weight or responsibility from others, then you don't allow them to grow too. And you also don't allow yourself to grow. I really want you to give yourself a chance for that self-development. So if all of that stuff I was talking about earlier, like an opportunity or a job and this and that doesn't kind of ring true to you, what it's really about is self-development and not putting yourself so far back that you're not allowing yourself to grow, to take chances, to take risks. Because that's part of your growth and that's part of why you're on the planet. We come here not only to resolve karma, not only to help others, but most importantly, as a soul to grow. So this month, you have a great chance to become the star that I know that you are. And that's really what this is about. I talk about this a lot, but I think I should repeat it as much as possible because people don't realize this sometimes. But, we are all created from the same material. And it was a star or many stars because this universe is really old. And so you're no different than someone who's in a leadership position or someone who is living on the streets. We're all part of God's energy. And I've spoken before about this. The hierarchy that we've created, it's an illusion. The color and the sizes and the genders and all these other things, it's an illusion. We're all souls. We're constituted from the same soul energy. We've taken very different paths, but in the eyes of God, we're all equal. So the sooner we know that, the sooner we realize that working on ourselves and helping others work on their own lives, it's equal. So don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on others. Find a balance. And I think if you find the balance, you'll find success. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that note. Really great talking with you. Nice to have a little extended chat at the end because I don't want to just look at the month. I like to look at bigger purposes and bigger points of focus because that's really why we're here. So I hope that helps you out. Anyway, take care of yourself. Wishing you much love and light now and always. Thank you so much. See you next month.